finalized a 2-year deal with Marc Gasol. They traded JaVale McGee, who, by the way, JaVale McGee tweeted at me about how I was taking shots at the Lakers for, Pelinka I was very critical of. And the JaVale McGee signing, all right, $4 million on JaVale McGee. You can, I guess at that price, it wasn't bad, but McGee wasn't very good and all this. And McGee said, he tweeted at me, he's going to show me, and he was right. He was right. He played well and was easily worth the contract and then some. And it was JaVale and a future second-round pick to the Cavs to help clear way for Marc Gasol, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. I don't know if Gasol, is that a Woj bomb? That's maybe a little Woj, it's a Woj projectile of some kind. I'm not sure that it's a bomb. The former Raptors and Grizzlies center, Gasol, is set to make the veteran minimum. That's $2.56 million, according to ESPN's Bobby Marks. That's a nice pickup. Gasol is no longer really part of the kind of nucleus of the team's offense, but he still can be on defense, and he can stretch the floor. That's just a nice piece to have. And by the way, when you see a guy like Dennis Schroeder sign with the Lakers, if you saw a team pick up Schroeder and Gasol as pieces of a rotation that were going to get real minutes, you might not be like, oh my God, those are amazing moves. You'd say, okay, solid basketball moves. But when you have LeBron and AD, all of a sudden those kind of guys are murder for the opposition. Because when you have LeBron on your team, not to mention with a guy like AD, if anyone hits a shot, you're like, well, if so-and-so is hitting a shot with these two other guys, not a lot you can do. But Schroeder is coming off, he was always a good, point guard with looks like upside, but when you're on a bad team, when you're on a Magic and you're putting up numbers in losing efforts, you're like, are those empty calories? Especially if you're not a defender. But Schroeder played deep. I was very surprised. He played deep. At least when I watched him, he looked good defensively. Like good defensively. Not just like he's trying to play defense. Like he was an effective defender. And if you're playing defense and also hitting your shots at a better than normal clip, and you're a guy with Schroeder's kind of talent, that is a real nice player. You know what that is? That's a league average starting point guard. And before it sounds like I'm damning him with faint praise, that's a great thing. If you're a league average, it's like being a league average quarterback in the NFL. You got to be pretty good. And with a piece like Gasol, now you have spacing with a big who can also play defense. And you have another player, maybe Schroeder won't be Rondo in the playoffs, right? Because playoff Rondo's special. But in the regular season, he'll be better. He'll be way better than Rondo in the regular season. And I expect Gasol to be more useful to this team than JaVale McGee. And Danny Green, who's a nice player. I'm a big fan of Danny Green's, but he did not have a very good year for the Lakers. Lakers got better. They're going to need to get better because the Nuggets are coming. Although the Warriors, oof. But the Nuggets are looking good. And there are other teams in the Western Conference, including the Mavericks, who, if they can stay healthy, are going to be a problem. The Clippers are still going to be a problem. Remember, I was pointing to the Lakers and thinking that they wouldn't win in year one, but they would win this upcoming season. Because the first time superstars get thrown together, sometimes it takes a year. Like the first year, they're a powerhouse. But in that next season, LeBron has experienced this twice. Once in Miami. And then once in Cleveland. Then the following season, he won the whole thing. But, in fact, that happened to the Clippers. As much as I said, look, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard were just kind of parachuted into a functional team with a real head coach and ownership that was very competent and a really, a good team. But, in fact, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari were ripped out of that team, and then those two superstars were kind of parachuted in, and they had chemistry issues. But the Clippers are coming. It's going to get more competitive in this upcoming season. The Lakers needed reinforcements. They've made smart moves to get them. And that's to say nothing of the reigning sixth man of the year, Montrezl Harrell, defecting off the Clippers, going to the Lakers. 2-year deal for the mid-level exception. $9.25 million in year one, $9.72 in year two. But that's the kind of player Harrell is. Harrell's also a nice piece. He got abused by Jokic. But like a lot of guys will get abused by Jokic. But all of a sudden, you look at the Lakers, you go, hold on, who's coming in? Montrezl Harrell and Marc Gasol and Schroeder, these are very useful pieces to a team with a nucleus of LeBron and AD. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.